Come. We don't know. We don't know. He's somewhere.
This one is hiding the president.
This one is given.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. You are all welcome to the EFF press conference. My name is Julius. Because we are at least 5 minutes late, I'm not going to do the introduction of the Presidium. I assume all of us know the members of the Presidium. So I'm going to immediately give the Commander-in-Chief the opportunity to take us through the statement to CIC.
Thank you very much, members of the media, fellow South Africans. At its special meeting convened on the 1st of July 2019, the Central Command Team resolved that the EFF Second National People's Assembly will be convened on the 13th to the 16th December 2019 at the Expo Center, Nazareth, under the theme Consolidating the Ground Towards Socialist Power. The National People's Assembly is an elective conference of the EFF, the highest decision-making body, and according to the EFF Constitution, takes place every 5 years. Accordingly, the CCT has adopted the guidelines that pave the path towards the election of delegates from branches, including in regions and provinces. This will be published on the EFF website for easy access. Within these guidelines are strict rules and deadlines for election of delegates, audit of branches, as well as conduct of all fighters and commissars on lobbying for leadership positions. Members and leaders of the EFF are therefore called upon to internalize these guidelines and participate in the lead-up to this assembly with the highest discipline and determination. The discussion documents will also be published on the EFF website, and they will be sent to branches so that branches are not only seized with matters of leadership, but they also discuss the state of the nation in South Africa through the discussion documents of the EFF and provide what could be a sustainable solution to the challenges that are confronting the poor masses of our people on the ground. Post-2019 general elections, the EFF increased its seats from 31 to 53 members of parliament, with 44 in the National Assembly and 9 in the National Council of Provinces. All 53 MPs are accordingly deployed to standing, portfolio and select committees of both houses, including parliamentary bodies, forums and legislative institutions. These deployments took into account Fifth Parliament experience, MPs' individual activism and professional background, and EFF key focus areas in the 6th Parliament. Our deployment is as follows. Party Leader Julius Malema, Chief Whip Floyd Sibambo, Whips Godrich Gadi, Tlengwe Mukalip, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, Veronica Mente, Renelo Mashabela, Tebo Mukweli. The President and the Commander-in-Chief, Julius Malema, is deployed to the Constitutional Review Committee to maximum participation towards the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution to bring to finality the land question. The President is deployed to Pan-African Parliament as the Pan-Africanist, leading the struggle for economic freedom not only in South Africa, but in Africa and all over the world. He is also deployed in the Judicial Service Commission to ensure continuity, strengthen and transform the judiciary through the appointment of competent and ethical judges. The President will also continue to serve in the Parliament Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests. The Deputy President and Chief Whip in Parliament, Commissar Floyd Shivambo, is deployed to the Standing Committee on Finance to ensure continuity of the work to transform the financial sector. He is also deployed to Constitutional Review Committee together with the President to ensure maximum participation towards the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution to bring to finality the land question. As a Chief Whip, Deputy President will continue to participate in the Chief Whips Forum and also in the Parliament Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests. The Secretary General, Commissar Godrich Gadi, is deployed to serve in the Magistrate Commission. The Deputy Secretary General Commissar Tlengwem Khalip is deployed to the Portfolio Committee on Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs as one of the EFF key focus areas given the collapse of local sphere of government. She is also deployed to the National Assembly Programming Committee and Chief Whips Forum as part of Governance Forum to ensure EFF maximum participation in Parliament. She also deployed to the Southern African Development Committee SADC Parliament Forum. Other commissars are deployed to portfolio committees, standing and select committees as follows. The list is too long. We'll sleep here because we have too many members. We'll give you the list. We are certain that this deployment will sharpen and bring much needed quality into the work of Parliament to legislate, hold the executive accountable, and move a step closer to attainment of economic freedom of our people. We must express our deepest concern on the conduct of the Chair of the National Council of Provinces, Amos Masondo, who sleeps during proceedings. During the debate on the State of the Nation address, Amos Masondo kept dozing off from the chair, leaving the proceedings unattended. This conduct will result in a motion of no confidence because the EFF will never allow Parliament to be turned into mockery by presiding officers who sleep on duty. The House is also seized with an erratic, lunatic Deputy Speaker, Lechesa Tsenuli, who is biased, unruly, and undermines court decision on Parliament. There is a standing court decision that the statement the ANC government killed workers in Marikana is not unparliamentary. Yet Tsenuli, through to his conduct, forced an EFF MP during the SONA debate to withdraw this statement regardless of being told about the court decision on the matter. We have already returned to the Joint Rules Committee to subject Tsenuli to a disciplinary process and have him withdraw his unlawful ruling in the House. No one can knowingly undermine a court ruling from the position of Chair of Parliament without consequences. We must warn him that if he does not improve, he too will be subjected to a motion of no confidence. The efficiency, progress, and stability of proceedings in this House depends on presiding officers who are competent, composed, unbiased, and respectful of court rulings. President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision not to act on the remedial action of the Public Protector in relation to Pravin Gordhan is a direct assault on Chapter 9 institution and the Constitution itself. The office of the Public Protector, regardless of individual who occupies it, must be respected. The remedial action of this office are binding and can only be set aside by court of law. Therefore, Pravin Gordhan's mere application for review is not sufficient ground to ignore, refuse, or delay the implementing the remedial action of the Public Protector. A review application does not set aside the remedial action. Only a court of law can do so. The President, like all of us, is bound by the decision of the Public Protector. He must subject Pravin Gordhan to discipline for his role in the irregular awarding of early retirement pension to Ivan Pillay at taxpayers' expense. It is important to note that Ramaphosa dismissed Tom Moyane from his position as SARS Commissioner purely on the recommendation of the interim report of the Nugent Commission, and irrespective of the fact that Moyane had brought a review application to set aside those recommendations. More recently, Ramaphosa did same with regard to Advocate Ngobo Jiba and Lawrence Mokhwebi of the National Prosecuting Authority, following the recommendations of the Mukhoro Commission of Inquiry. In essence, he did not hesitate to act on mere recommendation of these commissions, which are not Chapter 9 institutions, yet shows contempt to the binding remedial action of an office established by the Constitution. Ramaphosa is continuing to treat Pravin Gordhan as a god that is not subject to the law like all of us. Above all, like Zuma, he is not protecting the Constitution by complying with the remedial action of the Public Protector. This conduct invites all other politicians being investigated by the Office of the Public Protector to also undermine and ignore its remedial actions. We are taking legal advice on bringing a constitutional court application to compel Ramaphosa to comply with the remedial action of the Public Protector, as we did with Zuma on Nkandla. It does not matter how we all feel about the incumbent. We can even criticize it, but the office must be protected and respected. No one can say they uphold the rule of law and the Constitution, but ignore the office of the public protector and its remedial actions. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we are now going to entertain questions from yourselves. Can we try the first round? You'll be number 1, you'll be number 2. If you are behind cameras, please stand, you'll be number 3. If you are behind cameras, you just wave so I don't ignore you. Okay, we'll take those questions for now. Number 1.
Yes. Thanks very much. My name is Lisa from Sunday Times. First of all, with regards to the upcoming National Assembly, do we perhaps know in terms of the auditing of branches, how far is that, and what is the current membership of the EFF nationally, and what is the leading profits in those numbers? Number 2, it's an issue that's not part of the statement, but perhaps an issue of national importance. The issue of Mr. Trevor Malema, whose name seems to be coming up a lot, accompanied by that of Rothschild. We'll remember that there was reports that, for instance, the SAE board had held a meeting at Rothschild offices, and also now there's the ongoing court challenge with Mr. Moyo, which also has a Rothschild in it. Some have termed this the new state election. What is the EFF view on this current situation? Thank you very much.
Number 2.
Some kind of from ENCA. My question would be, how far are you with the processes for the National People's Assembly in December? How many branches have had their branch general meetings thus far? And also, what is the allocation of the delegation, particularly per province, and which is the biggest, basically, the province we have in the EFF? And then on the issue of the MPA, on the elections, has the branch nominations started so far to elect a desired leadership of the EFF? And lastly, who here is not available to come back in the top 6 position? Thank you.
Number 3, if you could stand, maybe because you're too far.
It's also not part of your statement, but I think it's a matter of national importance. The city of Cape Town, the DA in the city of Cape Town, has said that they will start fining homeless people for blocking pavements. I just wanted to know if the EFF has anything on that.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. On the DA matter, I think it was an omission. We also discussed and took a decision that we are no longer voting with the DA in all municipalities of South Africa where the DA requires the votes of the EFF. We will also not vote with the ANC. We will participate in the debate. We'll make inputs of what could be a possible solution. And if anything requires a voting, the EFF will abstain from those things of voting. We're not shocked by the DA's statement about people on the pavements, homeless people on the pavements. Majority of them are black people, and the DA has never had interest of black people at heart. We don't think that will happen because those black people on the pavements, even if you find them, they can't afford to pay. So they are talking some things which are not enforceable. So even if they don't pay, what else are you going to do? You can't take property from them. You can't do anything. They don't have a home. They don't have income. They don't have anything. So it's actually an extreme stupid statement to make. But it is just telling you how they feel about black people. All of us, our term of office ends in December, and they will only be asked by the electoral officers if we are available. We don't get asked by journalists. We get asked by electoral officers if we are available. And your availability, it depends on you being nominated. You can say you are available and you don't get nominated, so that's the problem. Branches of the EFF are going to discuss leadership. They are not going to nominate. They will have a broader discussion. The nomination is going to take place for the first time at the plenary, and it will be presided over by an independent electoral commission. Yeah, so that's what is going to happen with regard to branch nomination. Trevor Manuel has always served the white capital. It has always been about that. He's serving in the Rothschild's company. It's a confirmation of what we've always been saying. And now he's accused of a triple conflict of interest, exactly what we raised earlier, that he was conflicted to stay in that interview of the SARS commissioner. Trevor can kick and scream and go to court and win the court case. But the fact of the matter is that Trevor and that guy have got some relationship. That's why Trevor recused himself, not a proper recusal. Trevor didn't chair when that person came into the interview. Why is the court not asking Trevor, why did you recuse yourself? He recuses himself because he's got a relationship with the guy. It is undisputed. He's got a relationship with the guy. And he confirms that in his papers, actually, that he recused himself. But what is funny enough, he didn't leave the room. What is the recusal when you say, I won't chair, but I'll sit in the room? But it was also a disadvantage on other candidates. Why do you interview other candidates if you know very well that the person you've got a relationship is still coming? What if you are too hard on those others so that when yours come, you have already paved the way? In the Judicial Service Commission, if you miss interviewing one judge, you will not interview the rest of other judges because they say it's unfair. So the whole process, it's just that we don't have money, but the whole process of SARS commissioner was unfair, conducted in secret, people recusing themselves but remaining in the same hall. And when we criticize SARS, they say we've got something to hide. We have nothing to hide. We're not scared of SARS. SARS can come for us anytime. The reason why they want SARS so desperately, it is the only weapon they are able to use against their enemies. SARS is being used as a weapon to fight political opponents of white monopoly capital. We have nothing against SARS. SARS has got nothing against us. We have gone after Pravin. We have gone after Trevor Manuel. We have gone after Zuma. We are going after Ramaphosa and all of them. Why, if there is something we're hiding and scared of, why is SARS not coming? Let it come. We're not scared of SARS. Let it come. Let the new SARS commissioner come for us. An unfair process is an unfair process. We are going to say it is unfair. We don't care whether it happens in SARS or not. That commissioner was appointed unfairly in a secret interview conducted by Trevor Manuel. Amongst the people who were going to be interviewed are people who had a relationship with Trevor, and Trevor recused himself, a matter he has not disputed. Why is Trevor not being asked a question? Why did you recuse yourself? One. Okay, do you still call that thing a recusal? Because a recusal will mean you must leave the room. Why did you say you recuse yourself and still sit in the room? Why did you interview others and not him? What do you think it will not be justifiable to say you are hard on others to pave a way for him? Were you sitting in the room to police other members of the panel to ensure that they don't make it difficult for the person you've got a relationship with? All of that. So whether the court agrees with Trevor or not, on technical points he might have a point, but the truth remains the truth. Trevor knows the guy. Trevor did not interview the guy he knows. Trevor interviewed the guys he didn't know. which gave his guy some sort of a preference of some sort because a tough guy has not interviewed him. Trevor is being accused of bullying by Peter Moy. That's his style. He always wants to find his own way, otherwise you're going to have a problem. So your favorite is now involved in other big problems, huge conflict. Your favorite and Mr. Clean, he's sitting in the boards where he stands to benefit from this or that. Peter Moyo, we knew it. He takes the money of the company, the money of the shareholders, pay his legal fees, as alleged by Peter Moyo. Your favorite is not different from the rest. Actually, all your favorites are the same, it looks like. Comrades in the media, we just announced now that we are starting a process of branches. No. I mean, we came to announce now. We took a decision yesterday. We came to announce now. And your first question is, how many branches have they gone? I mean, we just said to you now. We are starting now. So please, let's listen to each other. That's a problem with sponsored questions. You come with it, and even when the question doesn't arise, to satisfy the other people, you still have to ask the question. We had a meeting yesterday. We are announcing today. The process is starting this weekend. So even the packages, the what do you call them, SG? The launch packages, the guidelines, all of that. Immediately after this press conference will be sent to the branches. Then provincial structures, regional structures will be made this week. Then weekend we're starting. So all of that, the membership, the what, will give you all of that once we have concluded the process of branches, because we can only say that if audit has taken place. There's a comrade there in Reebok. He kept on raising a hand when I was speaking.
Oh, sorry, it's Nayenzo from.
Yeah, we'll come back to you. The
it was just
principal,
a follow up on something that.
that's fine, and congratulations for having a follow up. But you might want to wait. The procedures that we wait for each other to speak.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll never suppress you. Don't worry. So, President, I suggest I must start with you.
I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get the second round of questions. Be they follow-ups or new questions. You'll be number 1, you'll be number 2, you'll be number 3, 4, 5. Is there anyone else?
No.
And then you'll be number 6. Okay, number 1.
Alright, my name is Debbie Sotwala. I'm from Sama HD Radio. And my question is in regards to the FISMAS for honorables in Parliament. I just want to know, is there any plan of them fighting for their, I don't know if I should say colleagues or the people that they fought with or they worked with the FISMAS for who are still in prison? Because I feel it's unfair that students or our future leaders are now in prison because of what they fought for, which is a good thing. It's something that was promised to them, and now they are in prison because of that. And then, but we see the real criminals, they go through Abozondo Commission and all of that, and they don't get charged. So is there any plan for the FISMAS to fight for the colleagues who are still in prison?
Excellent. Number 2.
It's just a follow-up on the voting with the DA. If I remember correctly, CIC, you mentioned that the one municipality that you would vote with is Joburg, because that man called the man Mashawa is always giving a headache to the ANC and is doing something right. Does that also now include that one municipality, which is Joburg, that you had said that you would be voting with the exclusion of others?
Number 3.
CIC graduates, online program online for the government are they employable? And then what another question is what programs you have for youth entrepreneurship across all the branches of the EFF?
Which media are you from?
I'm a student at the Exploding.
You see now.
Come again?
I'm a student at Exploding.
Oh, this is the media conference. Yeah.
Welcome to your school and conduct a workshop. Yes, don't worry. Welcome.
At number 4.
Student.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, go shoot for it.
It's going to from electoral to legal. I have 2 questions for the CIC.
Yeah, sure.
One, have you been served with a summons from the commercial team and endorsement? What is your response to that? And my second question, months ago, you had stated that the EFF would like to see a mayor, its own mayor, where is that process?
5.
Thank you so much. My name is Tsidi Madia from News 24. We're not going to touch on my first question, Julius. The mayor, the EFF mayor in Tswane in June. June came and went. We haven't seen that. What went wrong? And also interlinked to that, is that why you're no longer voting with the DA? In the part because maybe negotiations went wrong? Why come to that decision? And then also, decision to abstain when voting in council. How does that frustrate does that not frustrate the process where you went with the needs of the black majority in mind? You kind of spoke about how that's the role you play is to serve those people. So when you abstain, does that not frustrate the process of getting those people services? And then, I'm almost done with saying it. And then the video clip that was doing the rounds, where you then responded that if it was you would have done worse than the SG. I couldn't help but notice some members being upset about that, saying that that's not how they want to be treated, or they don't appreciate that leaders speaking out like that. But what I wanted to find out from you is, why do you think it emerged now? How does it play a role in the lead up to the NPA? Because some suspect that it is about the People's Assembly, it is about trying to squash the continuity in the EFF. Yeah, let me leave that there for now. Thank you.
Okay, last question.
Where?
Covered.
You're covered.
Can I
Some girl is covered.
This must be that came very early, yeah.
So that I don't
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. On the municipalities, the AG released a report last week. But I'll focus on the metros. The metros are particularly doing bad. In particular, those that are governed via partnership or coalition governments, if you want to put it that way. Particularly Tswane. Tswane is almost in the red, according to the AG. He even fell short of saying that it must be put under administration. A similar situation is the case in the city of Joburg and Nelson Mandela Bay, which are categorized as of concern, which is closer to being requiring intervention, as is the case with Tswane. My question to that is that an indication that partnership governments are not as good as some would like to believe? And generally, what is the view of the EFF on the AG report?
Okay, thank you. That concludes the questions, President.
Well, let me deal with the video and repeat what I said. I would have done worse. I would have done double that. And those who served with me when I was very young, they will tell you that he's telling the truth. Because I've got very little tolerance of nonsense. And anyone who has got a problem with that, the conference is coming in December, can come and remove me. But you're going to elect me a president of an organization, you must know I don't take nonsense. I've got no time for rubbish. Head office is not a place where you pass time. It's not a place you just come, you are bored, you come and give the TG a hug. Call TG and go and meet at the coffee shop there. It's not a place of friends here. This is where the revolution is being conducted from. It's headquarters. It's not a place of clowns. Anyone who comes here and want to threaten the peace of this nerve center of the revolution will find us ready. Our constitution says we will do everything in our power to take over this country. And if the need arise, will take up arms. So it says in a very polite way, we'll use any means necessary. It's being polite. Any means necessary. So here, for the revolution, we do anything. If you are a member, you don't like it, go and join ACDP. We're not here to nurse egos and feelings of fools who don't know why they joined this organization. We have no time for that. So if you've gone back, tell them to go to hell. If they are members of the EFF, must go to the nearest hell. We don't care about people. Not here. Here, you come and behave. First, if you call yourself a member, you come with an appointment satisfying all the stuff of the organization. You don't just wake up in the morning. You go to your branch, your region, you go to the friends, and then by the time you come here, you should have exhausted everything. We're building our own office now. We'll invite you at Gandhi Square. Because here we meet people here, some of them are coming here to look for other things. It's not our building. It's going to be worse than what we are experiencing here. We're not playing games. We are a very serious organization. So, and members of the EFF, not clowns, not chance takers, not staff riders, not opportunists who have been unemployed for a very long time and want to use the EFF as a step ladder and quick to employment, will know what this place is. They will know that. They will never question what we are saying. So those are not our members. Don't tell us about fake Twitter accounts which are in a permanent crying mode. They cry about everything. When you try to follow up as tomorrow, who is this person? The person doesn't first have an avatar. There's no clear address. No one knows who's this person. And we should entertain ghosts. The puku, chamo internet, the puku. We have no time for ghosts. Our members know that what the Secretary General did is consistent with what the leadership is required to do in protection of the office. You didn't do anything. We don't celebrate what the ANC did to IFP. But remember what happened when the IFP threatened the headquarters of the ANC at Shell House. Remember that. Remember what the ANC did to protect its own head office. And then people come and threaten our head office here. We must give them roses in exchange. Not here. It will never happen. And the ANC IFP thing happened under Mandela, your darling, Mandela. Even Mandela will not allow that his head office should be put under threat. And it's not going to happen here in the EFF. I said in the same platform where I addressed this matter that there are certain people in the EFF who want us to adopt some morals which I don't know where they come from. There are some morals which are imposed on us. And we must totally reject that. We must define the EFF morality, not a white man's imposed morality on the revolution. When you go to H&M, Mbuyiseni is accused of buying clothes from H&M in Cape Town. When you go to H&M and push those things, and some fellows come and want to condemn you and say that is wrong. Based on what? Based on what? You will never be told by your enemy on how you must conduct the revolution. You are a revolutionary. Sometimes you may be required to take out the heart with your own hands, literally. You have to do it. That's what the revolution means. Don't come here with some morals, borrowed morals. No, don't do that at H&M. What is that? Look at what it gave us. Look at that revolutionary act of H&M gave us. Well-behaved management of H&M, which is now hiring black models. because of that revolutionary act. Had we listened to 702 blacks, H&M will be still portraying us as monkeys. Monkeys. We deal with racism decisively because racism is violence. Deal with it. Don't listen to racist and co-opted black people who have committed a suicide and became something else now. Don't listen to such people. You know what we are doing. We listen to these people, Comrade Dali, about our conduct in Parliament. How finished his term. Yeah. The EFF would have died a natural death. Had we listened to you when you said, what are the overalls doing in Parliament? What are the overalls doing in Parliament? Would have disappeared because we've been followed by. Today, when you look at Parliament and an EFF person speaks, you have to know the person. Just know, this is EFF. We have not disappeared because we have not listened to some black elite middle class which wanted to turn into an amoeba. A shapeless political board. Today they pull you this side. Sorry, it's not that. Sorry, you don't stand. So we're not like the rest. We need to use violence to stop violence. We'll do. We never start violence. We never start violence. We are always provoked. We never start violence as a first start. We always talk and talk and talk, and people push us to the limit. Winnie Mandela in one video says, don't push us too far because they got soka anytime. That's who we are. We're Winnie Mandela's children. If you want to know what is EFF, just go and listen to that video where Winnie says, you keep on pushing and pushing, you think we're fools. We can turn this thing upside down anytime. Don't push us too far. When you are pushed too far, we'll show you flames. But you come peaceful, you come to a head office, you'll be treated nicely. This head office here has got a legal office that is ordinary people on day basis. Yeah. We've got a legal employed here paid 50,000. Yeah. One with a legal problem just walks in the legal person, the health person. They get it all the time. This is the most friendly office you can find. Don't bring. I mean, when you look at those people pushing our SG, pushing him. You push our SG in our office. They will come here. They are testing us. They will come here. They have to find us in the boardroom. They all of us here and start beating us up because what they do, they first test the ground before we're all going to be assaulted. After SG, we're going because after SG is that's why they're coming to me. So I must stop them right there before they come. They are starting with SG. They are coming to all of us. Thugs, criminals who are masquerading as EFF members. It will never happen here. If it takes votes away, let it go. Let the vote go. We're not going to die here in the name of vote. No ways. We're going to protect ourselves. We are representing black majority. We will expose corruption. We will expose maladministration. We will expose where service delivery is not happening, and if it happens, it doesn't happen to our expectation. That's the role of an opposition party, Tsidi. There's nothing more we can do. Those people didn't vote for EFF. We're not government in Tshwane. We're not government in Joburg. Actually, what we did was to try and find a way of doing exactly what you are talking about. It's not happening. We're elected. They took us too much. When you are working up there in farms, in the kitchens, in the newsrooms, when you are being undermined, you come here. When it's voting time, you go somewhere. Now we are being told, you are fighting for black people. Where are black people when the votes come? We're voting for EFF so that EFF can be the one that implements these things they want. So they voted. They chose what government they want. South Africa, you get the government you deserve. You have it. Joburg, Tshwane, and all of that. We said we are going to be government in June because that's an ultimatum we had given to the DA. The DA said no. The DA said it's not prepared. Remember, we can't be government if the DA and the rest don't come to the party. They refuse with their votes. They don't want to vote for us, but they want us to vote for them. And another fool which is going to masquerade as EFF is going to say, hey, why is the EFF not voting with DA? Hey, I'm disappointed. Go and vote DA yourself. Go and vote. Why are you not voting DA? You want to vote DA through us. Go and vote for them. Go and vote for them. We cannot keep on voting for people who can't vote for us. Power sharing means ngamena ngawena. Give and take. So if they refuse, and we've done it, how many years now? From 2016. Still, the DA doesn't appreciate that. So what must happen? It's done, it's finished. It's done, it's finished. There will be motions of the EFF. We can't stop putting motions. We will put motions. We will vote for our motions. Other parties may be interested to vote for EFF motions, but they shouldn't expect that in will vote for their motions. We will not. Rather put our motions and lose. Hey, Tatana Mashatila, I'm disappointed in that guy. Tatana Mashatila has given us summons here. We said he knows the story of renewal. The reality is that he knows. He knows where the money went. If there was lead, he was in government. Commerce just. But because this court created an environment where political speech can be suppressed, we are going to see a festival of these things. So let it be. It's what the courts have taken a decision to suppress political speech in South Africa. When you say you know where the money is, the money has not serviced the people of Alexander. There are no services here in Alexander. From the naked eye, we can't see anything. You are corrupt. You must come and say, no, you are talking nonsense. Here is where the money went. This is the road we have built for so much. This is the houses we have built for so much. And all of that, and get out of it. I thought Paul was bigger than that. But Paul takes advantage because he can see. Or the koto di latlile. At koto di latlile, you also grab an opportunity. I can also get something. I can get 500,000. Yo! And then you go and fetch your 500,000 as well. From the funny courts of South Africa, where that big one went up to some guy agrees gets fined 200,000 because of a K weight. I guess he said that to black people. There's no problem. 200,000. You are fined 500,000 for political speech. That's what the courts of South Africa say. It's costly to call a K weight more expensive to speak politics. More expensive to speak politics. Those are South Africa. That's where we find ourselves in now. West, you can't speak against a member of the Tumamina group. Yes, these courts will kill you. What? They even write in their the new dawn. The new dawn has brought changes in ESCOM. How does a judge write like that and use a campaigning speech of a politician in a judgment? The Constitutional Court revived my hope when it gave Jiba and Mukhwebi. I don't want them. I don't want them to go back to NPA. But, you know, when the court said, they too are South Africans, they deserve the law. It doesn't matter how much you hate them. They deserve the protection of the law. The Constitutional Court revived my confidence. I was hopeless. But Ngugai Toby once said, well, we need to find a proper case and go to Constitutional Court so that the Constitutional Court can also tell us if it's part of the New Dawn. Because the Constitutional Court can't be part of the New Dawn. It remains the Constitutional Court because there is no New Dawn Constitution. It is the same Constitution. Wire. It doesn't change whether there is a new president or not. You can't have a Constitutional Court that tries to appease the new politicians in office. When Deputy Chief Justice Zondo refused Moyani with the right to cross-examine Pravin, I got a shock of my life. I was like even a hardcore violent criminal caught on camera in FNB Stadium shooting at people seen by 90,000 people is not obvious. That person must still be tried. That person must still ask us who are accusing him questions. Or did you really see me? It's not obvious that we saw the person. Did you really see me? Because on that day, I was in New York. Here is my passport. The person you are referring to is my twin brother. Oh, we almost made him of killing a wrong person. That's the importance of listening to everything in court, including things that sound stupid. Certain things you say, it's too obvious, it's too obvious. They are not as obvious as you see them. We may get some wisdom out of Pravin's questioning from Moyan. Zondo said, no. I stopped watching Zondo since that day. I'm to pass certain marks and I'm told I'm earning the judiciary because the problem is we are not the type to keep quiet. We don't care whether you are a judge or, hey, wrong, it's wrong. I can't keep quiet. I said, save myself. Let me just stop. I'm going to watch when Zuma goes. But for let me stop a bit. The unemployment, entrepreneurship, you'll get the details of the school. We'll go there and debate that. The same applies to Mashaba. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing. Mashaba is a good guy. We even said we can have Mashaba as an EFF mayor. We won't mind. Because the guy, maybe our problems, maybe Mashaba is teaching us something. Maybe in future we may want to have that discussion. Maybe our problems don't need politicians. Yeah? Because Mashaba is not a politician. He doesn't take political attitude. He looks at, can it really work? Can we try it? Even if it comes from the enemy camp, maybe it needs these people. You know, that type of an attitude, it helps. We wanted to take Tshwane because we knew Tshwane is in the red. We wanted to demonstrate with Tshwane that we are the best government. Take it out of the red, put it out there, make it become a proper government. You know what happened to Tshwane? Every corrupt entrepreneur who was there under Spook is still doing business in that government. Nothing has changed. Nothing. Every corrupt fellow who worked under Sputa is still working there. There's not civil workers who are known corrupt in Tshwane. Bareki ba Tshwane, bareki, barekangi champagne and all that. Those who died during Sputa. Bareki was doing that now. The employment they have is working on the municipality. They still have the same power they had during Spurs time. Nothing significant has changed. So you need the EFF which knows these people. Deal with them. So these municipalities that are failing, my brother, we are not in government with those people. We are not there. So go and ask people of core governance as to what's really wrong. They are failing. The AG says we have a problem here, which is true. And surprisingly, a very bitter pill to swallow is Ikuruleni. Ikuruleni. It means Zwa is doing something. Every time I speak about him, he gets into trouble. So let me leave him. Because they say, why is he always speaking so well about you? Feast must fall, my sister. Just go and listen to the first debate of the State of the Nation address. The feast must fall. Only one person spoke from our side from feast must fall. Represented those in prison very well. Articulated the position of the EFF very well that we must release these people. All those who are found guilty must get presidential pardon. All of them.
We did a motion before.
And we did a motion in the EFF about feast must fall before the arrival of feast must fall in Parliament. Struggle will never leave. You are right. Tax are moving freely. We are greasy. They pay 200,000. Even when they say we have stolen. Even when they say we have paid so and so. We have paid Gwede. Or Mona Gwede, he doesn't want that public protector at all because he knows his case is there. It's coming. The Communist Party doesn't want the public protector at all. CITA cases are there. They are coming. They don't want her because their matters are before her. And she's right. She says, they don't want me because I know too much. She knows too much. She's got a lot of information about these people. Your new Dawn appointed terrible chairpersons of committees. Your new Dawn has appointed Bosasa, alleged people, corrupt people into cabinets. So what can we say? The only person who became a man and said, I'm not going until I'm cleared, is Didi Mabuse. When Gwede actually said to DD, hey, where are you going? We are all accused here, but we are not going anywhere. Why are you doing this? You are setting us up. Didi said, no, you must clear me. And then he went. They couldn't bring anything against Didi except newspaper clips. Nothing. And I had a discussion with the deputy president of the EFF. And I said, DP, I've got a problem, man. You know, every turn we take, we call Didi corrupt and corrupt. But there is nothing tangible that I've ever touched against this guy. Not underground. Not even intelligence stuff which you are told don't use it yet. I've never, in my entire life in politics, got anything tangible against Didi. But there's something tangible against Cyril. There's 500,000. There's 400 million in the account. Every white monopoly capitalist you know, everyone, put money in that account, by the way, of CR17. Can you say that about Didi? No one can say that. Didi is stories that are told in a toilet. Because if you repeat anyway in a proper platform, Didi make you honest. Gossip. I'm not saying Didi can be best president, but the reality Gwede allegations can be touched. Ace Makashule's allegations can be touched. You can't say that about Didi. I'm going to go for example about with people who have possibilities if this one of president goes down, because the likelihood is that he may not finish his term. Things are looking extremely bad. It's not looking good. He has to pray a living God for him to pass this one that is confronted with the president. And I like the guy Shem Marei. The law is the law. There's nothing I can do. He has to comply with the law. If there is money laundering, there's nothing I can do. I told the man, I said, my brother, you've got a problem here. Sort your problem. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. The man, you know, is loved by capital. There's some relative, you know, sense of attraction to people who want to come and help us in this country and all of that. Although there's nothing tangible which came since, but there's too much talk. Sometimes we survive through talk. You just want to hear someone say, I love you, even when you know. There's a possibility that I'm not loved. So, but just hearing it, it helps you going. So to hear we love Ramaphosa, we want to invest, hey, it keeps us going, we're in big trouble. So the reality is that if the man goes down, you may have to want to prepare yourself for a president called Didi Mabuse. Because there's nothing against him. Nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing. I have everything on all of them. I have nothing. Some of them I tell them, oh, no. Just fix here because there's going to be a trouble. Please. I've never said that to Didi or fix here. fix that. You just hear when you go to Mpumalanga, hey, he takes all feeding schemes. Hey, he takes all houses. Hey, he takes this. Everything is DD. Everything is that. Okay, but give me something. Give me something. No one has come forward against him. Even those things of the green things, they are now allowed in your private houses, so you can't disqualify him based on that. You can't say, oh, it takes a green stuff, therefore, out at home, there's no problem. So, or everything you are using against DG, it looks like it's falling out, falling away. So, it looks like some kind of you have to practice calling Mabuza President Mabuza because it's fast approaching. I can tell you that South Africa, I've never lied to you. I've never lied to you. There's something coming there. The president is in big trouble. Is in big trouble. He launches a complaint against the president. When it becomes hot, he doesn't know whether he must sustain it or withdraw it, or he doesn't know what to do with it, but it's too late. He says, I've never said investigate money laundering. The public protector gives Musi the same letter marked in red. Read here your own letter. They've put the president in trouble. Now they want the way of taking him out of the trouble. It's too late. It's too late. Now, the president must answer. The president's answers are not satisfactory. I said to the President, why do you wait for investigation? Call a press conference, bring out the list, and say, there was CR17 which was done. Whether you knew or you didn't know, it's immaterial. They did it for you. Now we know. Go and fetch everything and say to us, this is the situation. These are the people who have donated. And then South Africans will decide what they want to do. But the president has to come clean. Because there is this guy of Investec, Stephen Kosef. The guy accompanies the president to trips. He gets appointed into youth initiatives. What, hey, ha. We need to know if that guy has put money in that thing.
Yes.
So that when the president says, I'm appointing Stephen Kosef of Investec, he's the one who put 50 million in your campaign. Therefore, he's conflicted. You can't assign him of such responsibilities. We ought to know these people so that when they are announced as this or that initiative, we must know if it's genuine or it's a payback time. The president, in doing so, he will equally be liberating himself from these people because they've put money and now they're dictating to him. There are strong allegations that Pravin was at the center of raising those resources. That's why it will be difficult for the president to act on him. Why is the president not opening up? Or about my issue, these are the people. You will decide what's going to happen. Because we're going to say we have a president here. Kanti, we have a front. The real stuff is the one that has put the money behind the campaign of the president. So I know there is no law which forces him to do that. But when you were campaigning for him in the media, you said he's an honest man. He's a transparent man. He's a clean president. It's a new door. A new door that still hides things from you. The same way Zuma was doing. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. The Rothschilds are not controlling now. They have been throughout. They have been throughout. It's not for the first time the SAA board holds meeting in their offices. It has been happening. They control all the time. When you look at Investec documents and you look at the documents of ESCOM on how ESCOM must be restructured, these were said long before. The Rothschilds themselves have come clean and said, give us these things, we'll show you how they are done. They are not called Guptas. Why? They are white. There are certain morals for white people. They can't be corrupt. They can't capture anyone. And there are certain morals for black people. That's the country you live in. That's why, to me, those things don't work. Don't come here with nonsensical morality which doesn't apply to certain people. And it applies to certain people. Because the people who are supporting Cyril, they are white. Then they said Cyril is the one that can save this country because it is said by whites, it's a gospel truth. Even when he does the same things that Zuma has been doing. No, as long as whites are happy, there's no problem. We only become angry when whites are angry. They will control you, not me, not the EFF. We see the truth, we don't see color. We see law, we don't see color. We see the truth, we don't see color. Principle is principle, whether it's liked by white people or it's not liked by white people. Cyril doesn't want to fire Praveen because white people say so, that don't fire Praveen. But Cyril fired Moyani and Jiba and Mokhwebi on recommendations of a mere commission, not a Chapter 9 institution, not an institution established by a constitution. Commissions that recommend, public protector doesn't recommend, takes remedial actions. Whites say, hey, you can't do that. With Jiba, fire, fire. With Moyane, fire, fire. No, I'm reviewing, it's useless. And then we must accept that nonsense. When you say, hi, Moyane was reviewing, but hey, you said you don't want Moyane, now you want Moyane, you are flip-flopping. It's not flip-flopping, it's a law. Consistency. We don't flip-flop. Go and look for our videos, not in the Youth League, in COSAS. We said these things when we were kids, we still say them today. Not going to be told by 702 blacks that were flip-flopping. Flip-flopping on what? Law is law. When Zuma was persecuting Praveen, despite that Praveen persecuted us, we said you can't do that. What is that? What are you doing? What are you doing? When now Praveen refuses to cooperate with law enforcement and Chapter 9 institutions, we say to Praveen, Luena cooperate. You say you are flip-flopping, you are supporting him during a Zuma, now you don't support him. We don't support people who don't comply with the law. Comply with the law. Public protector says answer questions, you refuse to answer questions. Because we once said Zuma is persecuting you, we must still say even now, don't answer questions. Because if we say so, we'll be consistent. But if we say something different, we're flip-flopping. We are not flip-flopping. We took you out of a mess. You are going back into a mess. We'll still take you out of a mess. It's our job. We have given that task to ourselves. You are going to go into a mess with this uncontrollable, unprincipled love you have for New Dawn, which is even now finding its way into a judicial lexicon. We ought to fight that. We ought to fight that. No one should capture, not even our courts. If they capture these courts, we're done. We're done. Rwanda must know we're coming to stay there. We're leaving. Because here, there is no longer constitution. So if there is no law, we're all finished. It starts with what you are doing with the public protector. It starts with treating certain people as gods. It starts like that. Small, small. There will be no courts. There will be no police. There will not be anyone to protect us from monsters, which will be produced by all of us here because of uncontrollable love of white people. You don't even love Cyril. You love white people. Because white people love Cyril, therefore you love Cyril. Go on with your whites. Let's see what's going to happen. You hate everything else that white people says this is not right. Your judgment is based on what white people say it's right. If it's wrong, by white people it's wrong. If it's right, by white people it's right. Go on. The Rothschilds are controlling now. There's a fire blade there at the airport. Our golds and diamonds are leaving this country undetected because it's managed by whites. It's owned by whites. Had the Guptas opened that fire blade, had the Guptas opened that fire blade, there will be Amabunga and Rock Unit permanently based there. Permanently based at the airport to monitor every bag that goes out of South Africa. Today there is no Amabungani at Fireblade. There is Amabungani and Rock Unit at where EFF leaders are sleeping, what they are eating, who they are seeing, and then whether they use flavored condoms or not flavored condoms. That's the life we're subjected to here by Amabungani and Rogue Unit, which is permanently monitoring the EFF leaders. You can't do anything. If you order a fish and it doesn't have a bone, but it's eating fish without bones, those things are done by elite. It's against communism. That's what was objected to. But Amabungani must know that we have been there before. It's not for the first time. The Rogue Unit must know we have been there before. It's not for the first time. Stratcom, we have been there before. No amount of courts will silence us. We will be fined. We must pay, we'll pay. And we'll continue to fight. In the past, people were paying with imprisonment. Today, you pay with 500,000. You want to make 500,000 a big story. Mandela paid with 27 years in prison for fighting the status quo and fighting the establishment. Trevor Manuel is part of the establishment, is working for the Rothschild. If that is defamatory, I swear again. It's fine. And let the court again suppress political speech. Let them do it. Which is core, by the way, to our democracy and to this constitution. Once you take away the political speech, especially from the opposition parties, corruption is going to be instituted. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have an excellent
We'll see you.
We'll see you.
Some game. We'll see you.
He never gave me How are you?